Hello there, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. We're back, and yes, I do have the garden flipper. I thought I did. Wasn't sure. I don't know what happened with that order. But half of it was broken. But at least I know I have it. Those are all of the DLCs that I have. But I did say I wanted to buy another house, fix it up, and sell it. And I was worried that we wouldn't have much left. But we do, thanks to the DLC that I own. But I'm going to go in order. So we'll just start at the top and work our way down. There's quite a few there. I mentioned in the last video that I'm not a huge fan of that apocalyptic one. And they gave it to me for free when I bought the game outright. And I just don't like working on those houses. There's a ton of foodstuffs all over the place, and you got to pick each one up individually. And then you got to place them in a specific way on the shelves. And if you don't do it right, it just doesn't work. It's very tedious. And if they did fix the mechanic for that, I could try it without recording and see if they did. But if it's a monotonous grind, I'm not probably going to do those types of houses. But there are quite a few there. And it has been 2 years since I played this game. So I have to reacclimate myself to what exactly is going on. There's even an HGTV one where you go to a whole separate world. I suppose we could explore that. I'm pretty sure that 2 years ago I made a video using that. Or I could have just been playing it. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like beachside type stuff. It was beachside because the bottom was empty and then you went up to the house. Whatever, we can look at that. So I went back up to the top, and this is that house that flooded. I've done this one several times, but that's an issue as well. I figured I might as well mention it. I do not want to decorate the way I normally do. I do not like the moles either. They're so creepy. I don't know why they're so shiny. Every mole I've ever seen has never been, look how shiny it is. And it's got a platypus face, and I don't know where these types of moles come from. They don't look like the moles we have, so I don't know. Maybe they could only find a platypus, so they used it as a mole. I'm not sure. I couldn't remember how to get the dirt off here. Okay. And I didn't want to sell the sidewalk. But as for this one, yes, again, it is pre-recorded. I could apologize. I don't know that I have to, but my daughter ended up coming over just as I was setting up to do the audio. How do I say that? The audio, yeah. And she's removing more of her stuff down here, so I had to wait for that. But this video was well over an hour and a half long. And I don't speak. I mean, there are minute gaps where I'm not saying anything at all. And I'm uncomfortable with that. I just don't know that 3 or 4 minutes should go by with not saying a word. So what I thought I would do is just pre-record and do an audio over what I've done. I've tried 3 times now. And I just get I'm in my head when I'm working, which means nothing translates to my mouth. I'm not a multitasker. And all I do is mumble. I don't really say anything. And I just don't find it pleasant. I also had no idea. I don't know how long I've been doing this. I had no idea that you had to put 2 coats of that plaster on the walls. when you're doing a hole, you hold it down until it's done. But for this house, I was just putting down one and moving on. And you have to do it twice. I didn't know that. That's why I was getting 2 walls with one swipe. I wasn't aware. Because it kept coming up on the top left. I think it says something like, this wall definitely needs plaster or work or something. And then another issue that I have is when I come through the house, I'm so anxious to clear it out that I forget what the rooms were originally set up for. And I figured with this one, we would kind of keep it as close to the original as possible, but give them very nice new stuff so that no one would know that there was a disaster that occurred. But this room, I believe, is just like maybe it was a bedroom? Because it's got a weird door connecting to the other bedroom. And it looks like there might be some closet space as well. But I don't quite know what to do with that. So my thought was, today we will just do one room, which is the kitchen. And then we can move on. And I hope that's all right with everybody. And the kitchen was at the front of the house, and that's where I'm going to leave it. Normally, when I get into this type build, I put the kitchen in the back with a living room adjacent, and then I put the bedrooms off to the side with a bathroom, usually between the kitchen and a bedroom. And a lot of the guys on your left, some of them really want an office space. So I try to keep that in mind as well. Yeah, I'm going through here and putting a second coat of plaster on these walls. I did not know that. I don't know why. I don't ever recall putting plaster on these walls. I think I just paneled over them or painted over them. I don't know. But it never told me I was wrong. It's weird, unless 2 years of my brain have completely fried. And yeah, I used to do that and I just don't remember. So yeah, this just looks like a living area, and I'm going to keep it that way. I remember one time I took one of these houses and I made 3 bedrooms with a bathroom up front and a very small kitchen space, like just one wall had what it needed, a refrigerator, a stove, and a counter with a sink. And the spare room was a huge office. Another thing I realized that I constantly forget is the washer and dryer. And I suppose I could try to remember. There's just not too much to do in these tinier homes other than fix the walls up and give them new furniture. But I'm also getting mixed up between this game and House Flipper 2. Maybe watched too many videos, I don't know. But in the kitchen that we get to eventually, I was hoping to put the tile on the bottom half and paint the upper half. You can't do that in this game. If you put one item up, it goes from floor to ceiling, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I will mention, now that I've seen it, I guess cleaning windows is a bit of a hit or miss with people who play the game. I'm the type who absolutely adores cleaning windows. I wish I had one of those squeegees for myself. I'd probably be cleaning my windows once a week if I had one. But I like to do it in the game, and I hope it's all right that you guys are watching me do it. But from what I understand, all the videos that I've been watching, a lot of people don't like cleaning the windows. So in House Flipper 2, it's a completely different mechanic. I did notice with this game that you don't have to find that minute piece of smudge that's on there in order to complete it. They've kind of dumbed it down. And it could be a good thing And it could be a bad thing because I hate being treated like an elementary school student. It just drives me nuts. But you have to hand it to the developers. They listen to their customers, and that is a good thing. But the scary part about that has always been that be careful what you wish for. You may think that's a good idea. You may think it might increase the fun of the game. And in reality, you're just making things worse for yourself, or you're making it so ridiculously easy that it's not fun anymore. Last summer, YouTube kept bothering me. Every other day, they were sending me emails. Please help us fix our website. Give us your opinion on this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And the only thing I really harped on as far as repetitive answering the same question 10 different times is, I do not understand why you insist on constantly promoting YouTubers who are already at 1 million subscribers. They do not need any more promoting. They have their base. So why not instead, if one of those big guys is playing a certain game, what is wrong with putting lesser YouTubers who are playing the exact same game? Why can't you promote them on the right side? And the next thing I knew, they wanted me to join these conferences and are you available on this date to, and I'm like, I don't even have Zoom. I can't get that involved, so I had to bow out. And I'm kind of glad I did, because it wasn't long after that new CEO moved in. And it seems like he just chucked everything out the window and he went for money. Ads on every single thing. And if you have an ad blocker, you don't get to watch any videos at all. And join. The join button drives me nuts, because even if you do join the channel, you still get ads. All he seems to care about is the bottom line, which is even worse than the way it was before, because neither CEO seemed to care about their employees, which is a YouTuber. And they just didn't seem to care. So it was weird. It was a weird time. I was getting anxious about even being involved, but I just felt like at that point, I think this needs to be addressed, so I thought I would do it. Yes, I put the wrong size siding on there. But the more I looked at it, I'm like, well, it is the second floor, and it's not even a floor. It's like attic space. I've seen homes that do that. So these are the rooms, and I think we're going to start here, which is the kitchen, which was purple, interestingly enough. This could be outmoded information. It could be completely wrong information, but I was always told that blue in a kitchen is not a good idea because the color is an appetite suppressant. It makes you not want to eat or not eat as much, which would be a good thing if you're dieting, I guess. Paint your kitchen blue and you won't be as hungry. But I was always told that if you want, hearty meals going and people eating what you cooked, avoid blue at all costs. And a lot of people that I was watching, they tend to paint their kitchens blue. So maybe it's not a thing anymore. I don't know. I never really noticed because, I've never had a huge appetite. When I'm hungry, I eat something and I really don't care what it is. As long as my stomach isn't growling anymore, I'm happy. And water actually helps. because again, this could be wrong information, but I was always told that hunger pains only last 20 minutes. That doesn't mean that you can go a whole day without eating. Well, I suppose you could. You could live on water for a day. It won't kill you. But you won't be feeling good. I really hope that I could put these tiles on the bottom under the window, straight around, and then paint the top part. And you can't do that in Flipper 1, which is all right. That's why I was saying earlier that there are trade-offs. The washing machine is going and that's making noise. I will speak again as soon as it stops. Okay, sorry about that. Oh boy. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, it doesn't matter. Probably wasn't anything important. I did have an issue here as well. I had trouble trying to set this up. I like putting sinks under windows. And it's probably an old-fashioned thing that you could re-educate your mind on. Back in the day, you had to do dishes by hand, so it was always nice to have something to look out on while you're doing drudgery. It also is aesthetically pleasing in a way. It's kind of cute. But it just wasn't working out. I loved the cabinets. I loved the color choice. I hope you guys agree. It's okay if you don't, but I'm just saying. It just wasn't coming together too well. So there are some iffy, questionable choices that I made. I love that corner piece, but I had no idea it was a sink. How do I not see the sink? I don't know, but I didn't see the sink. And then I remembered that they had dishwashers. So I went back and found one of those. And things were coming along nicely, but then I realized, wait a minute, now I have 2 sinks, which is okay. I don't see anything wrong with 2 sinks. But it was fitting in all right. It just wouldn't fit in here. And I couldn't figure out why. Why is there a gap there? Such a large gap. And there's nothing back there. Even that plug on the wall, they won't let you remove it, so that couldn't have been the reason. I just couldn't get it to go in. I don't know why. Nothing would fit there unless I got rid of the dishwasher. Yeah, see, they won't even let me take that out. And then I'm like, oh, 2 sinks. But that corner sink was very cute. Maybe should have kept that. Hopefully I won't forget in the next house that we go to that I can do that. I also like the built-ins, the auto kitchens or whatever they're called, where a majority of what you need is just right there in one piece. I like that, but I'm not too crazy about some of the designs. And it looks to me like they have quite a few updates here that are a little bit more modern looking. But again, I might be wrong, I could be mistaken, but I thought that wood was out and chrome and metal and marble and what is that called? Mozzarella? Terracotta? No. Tetrazzini? No. I'm naming foods. Terrazzo? Marazzo? Is that what it's called? It's really cute stuff. It's got like colored specks in marble or whatever. Granite. Yeah, granite is another surface. And they do have some of them in the game, but a majority of this stuff is wood. At least you can paint it. Still having trouble with this. It will not go up against the wall. And then I realized, well, you could straighten it out. That might help. I think I've mentioned this several times now. My depth perception in this game is nil. I'm looking at one thing and the game is saying another thing. And it's just not registering with my brain. I'm like, well, I see it, but that's not. So this was my final decision. And like I said, it's not the greatest thing in the world. But it worked for me. I hope it's all right with everybody else. I maybe could have stuffed a plant in that corner, but I thought, you know what? They need shelving. They need more storage space in here. It's a tiny kitchen. Let them have it. Here we go again. Straighten it out. Ugh, I just couldn't get it. I'm looking at it. It seems straight to me, and it's weird. It was fun. I enjoyed this build. I was surprised at myself because I thought, wow, here we go again. I'm going to do something dumb. I am using all new stuff here that I either don't remember being there or I had no idea that it was there. And I like it. I think it's very pretty. I like the color choices. I hope I don't go too kooky. I know some people think it's funny to make wacky looking rooms and houses and stuff. I understand that, but I actually tried once to do that, and I was going with orange and purple, which just makes me want to vomit when I see that color combination. And no offense to anyone who loves them. That's got nothing to do with it. It's just me personally not being able to handle those two color combinations. See, I love those things. They're adorable. I think I got about 5 minutes in and I had to stop. I can't even look at what I'm doing. It hurt that bad. So I suppose I could try again to get goofy, but maybe with more appealing color combinations, which would defeat the whole purpose of the challenge, I suppose. And I'm always in it. In this particular game, I'm in it for the money. I want to see how high a bid will go based on the work I did, because you put a lot of hours into this, and then someone turns around and says, oh, I'll give you 23 for it. It's like, you mean 123? I'm very happy, too, that a lot of this stuff matches and goes together well. Yes, it's hanging off the wall just a tad, but I'm like, okay, you got to let that go. Ignore it. You're not going to see it. You're not living here. Let it go. So I did leave the refrigerator where it is, and there is a lip. I'm not going to worry about it. And this is another thing. I don't think I ever do this. I always forget a majority of the decorations. I will remember paintings. Sometimes I'll remember plants. But I rarely remember to put the accessories in a room. And again, that's probably got a lot to do with tedium. I don't want to, one by one, put the little kid blocks down on a shelf. But I can try. So this was my solution to that gap in the corner. I know it looks weird, but I don't care. It's what I chose to do. That's my wacky. For everybody who's interested in wacky, that's as good as it gets for me. I tried to line it up as best I could with the countertop. And I really liked the garbage can I'm going for. I can never remember, oh my gosh, where is this stuff again? What column is it supposed to be in? What category did they... Look how tiny this thing is. For a kitchen girl, I don't care. It matches. I'm keeping it. Well. I actually wanted a yellow kitchen, and it turned peach, which is fine with me. Peach and orange. Very soothing colors. Now, I do always do this, but I just feel privacy is important in a house. So I try to get gentle matching colors. And I don't care for these in real life, but I think they look really nice in House Flipper. So I chose to go with those. I was worried that one wouldn't match the width of the window, and it did. We lucked out there. This is just taking me, this is what I'm telling you. This is chopped down and sped up. It's 3 times faster than normal. And it's still way too much. I had 2 hours and 28 minutes worth of footage that I broke down into a half-hour video. This is the other thing. In House Flipper 2, I think it's cool that they have the grid. When you go up on the ceiling or down on the floor or even on a wall, they have a grid. And when you set something up, there's a solid line that lets you know exactly where you're placing it. That is cool, and it should be a feature in this game. I like that light switch. That's new. To me, it's new. I know it's not new to the game. But it's cool. I like it. But in House Flipper 2, they have that grid so that if you are putting up a light, you can follow that solid green line, and it gives you a much better positioning than this game does, which I'm never good at. It looks like you're centering it, and then you go to another side of the room, and it's like way over to one side. It's like, well, how did that happen? It was perfect where I was standing. So I'm trying to let that go so I'm not making such a big fuss out of it. This table is probably way too small for this room. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty, so I'm going with it. I'm making a lot of weird decisions, I'll tell you that much. It's like, you know this is too small, right? And you're going with it? Okay, go with it. But it's so charming. I thought I could get 2 chairs in here. I'm like, well, okay, you did just say that's too small, but whatever. So we get 3 chairs. Oh well. It's cute. So now all we really need to do, I completely forgot about the floor. The floor looks actually kind of nice, but there was a flood, so I imagine at some point we're going to be getting mold issues if we don't fix it. And I'm like, do I go with tile? Do I go with another wood? I think it would be better if we went with tile. And again, I was so hoping I could go half orange, half white. And you can't. It has to be a solid surface. So I was kind of bummed about that. I think they have a specific tile that does it, but it's more of a beige than a orange. And I didn't want that. So this is the result. And I'm very happy with what I did. So now I want to go in and add things that I don't normally add, which is accessories. Neighbor's dog is barking, sorry. And that ugly Christmas sweater, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I've never seen this before either. But I think this is from the HGTV one because the majority of that was just Christmas stuff. And I like the matching rug here. I just made it too big. But I think it's cool. I always put a rug under the sink just in case there's spills. And it's still too big. So I put it over there and now it fits perfectly. And I know it's Christmassy, but the colors are perfect for this room, don't you think? That's why I went with it. So now I'm going to be looking for like tabletop items, wall items. Yeah, I really wanted a clock in there and I like that style. But it disappears the minute you put it on the wall. So I kept it, but I don't know, maybe I'll have to make it darker or something from now on. And I was finding a lot of really neat stuff. It just took me a while to find out where is it. What column am I looking under to find what I need? And then I'm like, oh, kitchen. But yeah, majority of this holiday stuff I think is from the HGTV DLC. This pot rack blew me away, so I had to have it. And yes, I'm in love with the pastel rose. I think it is so pretty. I would probably have that all over my house if I had a house. So the only wall it would fit on is that. We got to move our clock. But it needs to be in a place where everybody can see it. So I figure coming in that entryway there, you'll see it good. Then I didn't need to move the clock. But I did think that the microwave is in a bad spot. The coffee machine, which I never use because I don't drink coffee, should be closer to the water. We can put the microwave in the corner there. And the toaster right there. Sad that those only come in 2 colors, but oh well. And I wanted to find, I was hoping for like dishes. Now this is not a placemat. It says it's a napkin, but it goes perfectly with what we're doing here. So I just set it in the center and I put some fruit on top. Now I think all we really need is a picture, but I keep finding other items that it just, ooh, that's cute. Oh, neato. Okay, I'll take this. Do we already? No, we don't already have. We need the utensils. I apologize for this point. I thought I cut this out. Something hit the window and it scared the daylights out of me. I just turned and stared at the window for a minute and I don't know what it was. I thought I cut that out. I apologize. When my daughter showed up, I wasn't expecting it, so I had to stop what I was doing. And I probably just came back and forgot. I apologize. But it's not creepy being in the basement. I'm a little too old for that, but I do have to admit, this is my favorite item in the game. Again, if I had a house, I would want one of these things. It is so cute. It is so charming. I don't really get it, but I like it. And the spice rack here. Gotta have one of those. Being in the basement. It's only creepy at nighttime when I go upstairs and you turn off the light and all of a sudden it's pitch black because there's no windows where I'm at. Well, where I'm in, there are windows, but it's a separate room. So you run up the stairs like you're 7 years old again. I'm weird. Yeah, I think the last thing we need is a picture. And yes, I'm doing the matchy-matchy thing. I want it to look cohesive and inviting and elegant, and I like that. Sunflowers. So that's our kitchen. All I'm putting in is a door frame, not a door. I thought at first, well, we could put a door in here, and then I'm like, it's so small. It's just a nook. We really don't need a door. So I just put the frame up, and that's as good as it gets. So now we have a couple more rooms to do. We'll go through and look at the whole house. We got the hallway, that room, the bathroom, that room, and that room. But thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. I hope you enjoyed this. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you're interested. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.